Well, hello and welcome back. Now in this lesson, I'm going to revisit my to-do list, the one that I made a couple of lessons ago. And I'm going to refine this list by using some of the elements we just studied in the last lesson. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use stickers so that I can individualize, if indeed that's a word, each of these 6 nodes to make them more distinctive. And here we are. I've added 6 stickers to each of the 6 nodes, and I've added a to-do list icon, or to-do list sticker rather, to the central topic. Now it's going to be a matter of personal preference, whether you're going to want to use stickers in your mind maps or not. If you find them useful, if you find them effective, if they help, then hey, by all means use them. Alternatively, if you don't think they really serve much of a purpose, then of course don't use them in your own maps. But I would advise in the early maps that you build that you do use stickers. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to prioritize these tasks, and I want to choose which of these tasks I absolutely must get done next week. I'm currently recording this video on a Saturday, so I'm planning out my next week's activities. So let's open the icon menu, go to markers, and I'm going to choose now which are my priority ones. I'm just going to shrink my map from 120% down to 100 to make it a little easier to work with on this screen. Okay, so which of these do I have to get done next week without fail? And there you go. I've chosen 6 items that have to do with my immigration status here in Spain. I have a meeting with my bank manager. There's 2 items there that relate to my own health. I need to walk every day and record my food intake every day because I'm trying to lose some weight. And I have a business item that I've declared as a priority 1. Now, just because I've designated these as priority 1s and I haven't designated any of the other items as priorities doesn't mean they're not important to me. And if this was a much larger mind map, then I personally would now go through it and I would pick priority 2s and possibly priority 3s. But as this is a small, very manageable mind map, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to clutter the map with too many markers. I'm simply going to concentrate on priority 1s. And now I'm going to go back through the items again and I'm going to delegate which day of next week I wish to tackle each item. And there you go. I've gone through each item and I've designated which day next week I'm going to work on all of these. I haven't done that for the daily tasks because it's kind of obvious which days I'm going to work on those. I just want to show you one quick trick I didn't show you in the last video. And all of these items under personal, I plan to do next Tuesday. So I'm just going to click in these and delete each one so I can show you how I added them. Instead of adding the marker for Tuesday to each of these 3 items individually, all I did was I dragged my mouse through the 3 items to highlight them. I come down here to the bottom right, choose Tuesday, and it applies Tuesday to these items. And of course, next week, as I'm working on these items, if I want to change which day I do a specific item, I can just click in the marker and then choose to do it. For example, I might do this on Wednesday instead of Thursday. So what other items can I add to this map now to make my tasks next week easier to fulfill? Well, let's look up here to the personal node. And I need to make a dentist appointment. I also need to make a podiatrist's appointment. Now, I do not yet have a chosen dentist or podiatrist here in Barcelona. I haven't been living here long enough. So I need to do some research online to find myself a dentist and a podiatrist. So I turned to the web and I looked up some lists of possible dentists and podiatrists that I can contact next week. And all I'm going to do is copy the URL, go back to my mind map, click in Make a Dentist Appointment. Now I can go to Insert, Link, Web Page, or I can use, as I'm using a map, Command and K. And it'll open up the web page link menu. And I'm simply going to paste in the link for that web page. So next Tuesday, when I need to make a decision about which dentist I'm going to make an appointment at, I can just click this link to reopen that web page. And then I can go through the list, contact these dentists, and make a choice. And let's do the same with podiatrists. And here's a Yelp list, are the best 10 podiatrists in Barcelona. So I've copied the URL, I go back to my mind map, I hit Command K, Command and V to paste in my link, And there you go. I have my link saved. I don't need to do any more research next week, next Tuesday. I simply open these web pages by clicking this link, and then I can address that task at that time. Now I'm looking at the admin node, and I've got 3 items to do next week. One has to do with beginning to assemble the information for me to prepare a will, and the other 2 have to do with me getting some paperwork processed for my immigration status here in Spain. So my 2 priority 1 items both relate to my immigration status. It's just occurred to me that I could use the same person to help me complete both tasks. So I'm just going to drag this item up in the order. I'm going to highlight them. I'm going to come here and add a summary. And in my summary task, I'm going to simply say, discuss with Axel. But if you notice, I haven't chosen which day next week I'm going to do these on. Let's open our icon menu, come back to markers. I'm going to highlight them both. And even though I know Axel is very busy on Mondays, I'm still going to chase him on Monday to hopefully set an appointment with him for later in the week. Now I've just added a subtopic to our summary, which is a deliverable that I need to get out of my discussion with him. And I'm going to click in the summary note here, open the note tab, and I'm just going to write down a list of quick questions that I want to ask Axel next week. And there you go. Those are 3 questions. It's just occurred to me that I need to ask Axel when I get an appointment with him, and I'm going to contact him on Monday, hopefully to get that appointment. And I'm going to minimize this task just to save a little screen space. Now I'm looking at the business node. To be honest, there's nothing I really need to add there. That's all very self-explanatory to me. There's no more information that I need before I tackle those points next week. I'm looking now at the daily node, and there's just one thing I could add there, and that's the URL to the tool I use to record my daily food intake. I've just copied it from the web page. I'll click on it, hit Command and K, Command and V, and there's the link to a tool called MyFitnessPal. So when I'm working in this map next week, all I need to do is click this link to open the website. I need to order groceries, and I've delegated this task to today, Saturday. But the reality is I've already taken care of this. So I'm going to come up here to icon, and I'm going to add a task completed arrow. And finally, I have to meet my bank manager next Tuesday. Now I know I have to do it on Tuesday, and I know it's a priority 1. But what I've also done is I just went to Google Maps to look up the address of the branch where I'm meeting him. And I've added it to this topic as a link. So if I open this link, it now shows me exactly where I need to be next Tuesday morning. As you can see, this process was pretty simple and straightforward. I prioritized my tasks, I worked out which days of the week I was going to address them on, and then I added pieces of information, links, or a list of questions that when I come to do these tasks next week should come in useful and handy for me. Now obviously if we'd have given this particular list of tasks to somebody else and asked them to design a mind map, their mind map might look quite different. But that's not to say one map is better than the others, or one map is right or one map is wrong. Mind mapping is a very personal discipline. As long as the map that you design makes perfect sense to you, has the information you need and conveys it clearly to you, then the map is doing its purpose. And in the next lesson, you're going to return to the to-do list that you designed, and you're going to work through it and prioritize and schedule those tasks for yourself. But we're going to end this lesson right here. And as always, thank you for your time.